y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Mike Podcast. That's Mix in Chat. I'm your boy Javi here with
D-Lo.
And let's get into it. So to dive right into the first topic, the whole where is Kate situation has went on for far too long. Over the past 3 months, social media has dissected, conspired, proposed all sorts of scenarios that could possibly be going on with Princess Kate. Well, this past week, Princess Kate herself took to social media to put those rumors to bed and to address the concerns of the people. Let's take a listen.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment, but most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I'm also thinking of all those whose lives have been affected by cancer. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone.
So this message comes straight from Kensington Palace. I did say it right, Kensington. Yeah, Kensington Palace. And it was a video that was uploaded this past week. And for me, it just gave me so many more questions. Like, what's with all the capping? Like, why have the body double walking with your husband in that other video? Or why edit your photo to crop you into it? Or whatever the case may be. Why cap and not just come out and make that general statement when all the controversy around where you've been has been uproared for so long?
That was my thing. Like, why did they wait so long to post something on it and create the stigma around the whole thing?
Yeah, you've already got somebody that's like, that works in the hospital looking into your medical records, which they are getting in trouble for that. You got people going through great lengths to prove where you are or to figure out what's going on with you. And you wait until all the stuff is going down in order to make a statement on what really is going on.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to explain to the kids on what's going on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, they could at least made a statement to be like, all right, to update people to where they're not already in their feelings about it or making up stuff.
Because, like, I feel like the royal children, little princes and little princesses, like, I don't feel like their parents allow them to look at social media. Just because, like, all the controversy surrounding the royal family, I don't feel like they would let them look at that. So you can put out a generalized statement to the public, letting them know what's going on, and then explain it to your kids in a way that children will understand what's going on. Because I feel like if you were to say, this is what's happening to the public, your kids still wouldn't grasp it.
Yeah,
and I feel, yeah,
because I mean, we're all I can't say we're all adults because there's even some adults that are still immature about things. But I mean, a lot. That's what people don't understand. That's what some of these people don't understand. Like, we are able to handle the truth, and
you never lied.
You know, so it's like it's one of those things. Like, don't be so secretive with it.
Right. Like,
just come out and tell us.
We gonna figure it out anyway. So why make us fight for it when you could just gave it to us up front?
Yeah, it's like
they
get mad at the paparazzi trying to figure this out and try to figure that out, but just be truthful and they don't have to do all that.
Right, but no, in all reality, that's what the paparazzi is paid to do.
Man, so, you're right about that.
Then they would be out of a job if it wasn't always up front, you know. But speaking of other people's business, how you been, man? You been all right?
I've been good. Just, you know, trying to keep up with this basketball stuff. And
that's right. And let me tell you, digging and trying to search stuff on these politics and on where is Kate, oh my gosh, it's time consuming, but it's so worth it. Because I feel like I'm a journalist now and I get to get in and dig and find out stuff and be messy and get the juicy gossip and the tea. It's rewarding in itself. But everything going good this past week? What's your level? From a scale of 1 to 10, where do you say you are right now as far as like energy, mindset, just the feeling of how you feel? Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
I get about a 7.
Okay.
Kind of halfway there.
Okay.
You know, it's going good. I wish
you dealt with a lot this past week, so
yeah,
a 7 is great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep it at a 7, but with everything that's been going on with our family and just dealing with that, you know, it kind of makes you look at life in a different aspect.
Oh,
but at the same time, it's just like, you know, you just get tired of seeing your family just in that surrounding.
Definitely.
So
I get that completely.
Especially from my family, we used to be so close. Like, we used to have Sunday dinners every Sunday, and then. But, you know,
life changes.
Yeah, it does.
People change.
People scatter.
Yeah.
And it's just hard.
People start to get their own families, which leads them to have to do things with their family, which takes them away from the core. You know what I'm saying? But the core is always there. It's just y'all are spread out now.
Yeah. So I mean, we still talk. We just like to see each other. You know?
Yeah, y'all actually got to find the time to actually get together now instead of having all the time.
So how you doing?
I would say I'm at an 8.5, just because I found out some stuff this week, and it kind of like upset me, but at the same time, it's life. Things happen, and we just gotta look forward to the next day, because at least we're here, you know? At least we're still able to say, I woke up today and I'm doing this. So I would say 8.5. The best part is doing this. DoorDash was crap today. But over the past couple of days, it was all right. It kind of gave me what I needed. And for those of you all that don't know, I'm a full-time DoorDasher, and
I'm a full-time Dasher.
So we will be bringing y'all some information on that too. So right now we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will go into our sports segment with D-Lo and get all the latest on what's going on in sports. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, and let's turn it over to D-Lo with the sports. What's going on, D-Lo?
Oh, man. So far, the NCAA tournament has been crazy, but we'll get more into that. I'll dig more into that one. But it has been a disappointment for the Wildcats.
The Whack Cats at this point.
Yeah, we did suffer a first round loss to Oakland. It was 80-76.
Come on, Oakland.
They had to fight hard for that one.
What, they like 14?
They yeah.
Like what?
What got us though was the kid Galky, man. He just, first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say he looked like a grown man playing with kids. Like, he looked like he was in his 30s to 40s. I'm not even gonna lie, but he's actually 24, I think. But he was a senior, but he scored 32 points.
Damn.
Did 10 of 23 3-pointers. Like they was literally giving him everything he wanted. They had no defense on him.
Was that their biggest thing? Was the defense?
Yeah, that was what got them, was their defense. Their other starters had combined 29 points. On the Kentucky side, Reeves, he had 27 points. He was 11 of 18 of shots from field goals. He was 5 for 9 3-pointers.
Speaking of 3-point shots, and it doesn't even have anything to do with 3-point shots, I was so pissed off when I saw that Kentucky was down and they decided they wanted to throw an alley-oop in the middle of them being down, and I'm like, why play around, bro? You don't have the time to.
That's the thing, though. I do have hopes for Shepherd. He,
I think it was him.
Yeah, it was. But it's the thing, though. He is a freshman. He's gonna make freshman mistakes.
Man, that is a high school mistake.
It was a freshman mistake. It really was. He wasn't on the best of his game, and he was just trying to do anything he could to bring us back. I mean, he only had 3 points. He was 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3 points, which,
man,
it just. Dylan Hannon had 10 points. He was 2 of 9. 2 of 6 from the 3. Edwards and Mitchell was combined 24 points.
I was devastated. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Wagner, he played 17 minutes and had no points.
Like I said, I was devastated.
It's one of those things that how many times we gotta keep going through this?
You would literally think it was the first game of the season.
Yeah. It just, when it came down to it, and that's the thing about the tournament, though.
They played like it was a scrimmage.
All it takes is one bad game.
And you are knocked out of the season.
And you're knocked out. So, and unfortunately, that was us.
And as soon as they lost, my first Facebook post was, okay, so now that the NCAA is over.
Yeah, and...
Dot.
And see, and that's the thing, though, because so now there's this whole big thing between the whole division between Wildcat fans, because you got some fans that they're wanting Calipari to be gone, and then you got some fans that are calling the other fans entitled fans because they're wanting Calipari gone. But look at the facts. In the past 5 seasons, he's only had 1 NCAA win, not championship win. He had 1.
What was that? 2012.
The last championship was 2012.
Yeah.
But in the last 5 seasons, we only had 1 win in the NCAA tournament.
Oh.
And that's 1 game. 1 game win. Yeah.
So they've never, after that championship, they never made it 3.
Well, they did. We've had in the 15 years of him being a coach, we've had 1 championship. In 10 years of the 15, we've had 4 Final Fours and 7 Elite Eights. So, but it's just been a downhill ever since then.
Yeah.
And so we've had, like I said, we have 1 win in the NCAA tournament. We have 1 win in the SEC tournament in the past 4 years. So it's just, I can understand the frustration. My frustration with him is he keeps worrying about getting these top 100 ESPN players.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're going to be one and done. They're looking to get to the league. What you need to do is you need to have consistency on the roster. Yeah. You need to be worried about people that's here for 4 years. That way you can generate some consistency. You can generate some a culture. Because with you keep having freshmen every year, you can't generate a culture.
At all.
So,
because then you're going to have freshman mistakes like the one that, what's his name, Shepherd made.
Yeah.
And
I really do hope he stays. Some people's reasoning why they go to the league is, it's because they're trying to help out their family. Some are worried about injuries. Well, if I get injured during the seasons, then, there goes my career. But the one thing I'm hoping with Shepherd is that, one, his family's definitely not hurting, so he's not worried about making the money. He can generate more NIL money.
I feel like his would be more for the image.
Yeah. So, and plus, I mean, he comes from Kentucky royalty, so he's gonna do what he can to not diminish that legacy.
But I need for him to realize that there's a time to play and there's a time not to play. And what you did on that field, well, in that paint. Look, I just keep reliving that moment, and I don't know why it's that moment in my head that I keep reliving, but that just showed like how immature that the team is right now. Like, I feel like they have, like you said, that one player on, I guess, the other team was like a grown man playing against a whole bunch of kids. Like, that's the image that I got from them, where they were a whole bunch of kids out there on that field. Like, they haven't developed into a team.
But that's the college game nowadays. Like, you're gonna have, some of these players that have stayed 4 years, they're gonna be grown men playing against kids because...
And those are the people that I need to actually...
It's around the one and done thing. Like, you get more kids and freshmen coming into the game now because... After this bunch is done, then a whole new bunch is coming in. So that's just.
And it's hard to teach kids that want. It's hard to be a senior baller trying to teach kids that want to do one and dones how to be mature ballers.
Yeah, so that's why you gotta that's why you gotta stack your team with people that want to be here.
Y'all, we gonna take a quick break because we both need to replenish, get our thoughts together because this is a lot. We gonna dive right back into it after this quick break. All right, y'all, welcome back. Thank you for staying in tune with us. And we're gonna get right back into sports with D-Lo. He's talking about Calipari. So let's hear it. What's going on?
All right, so like I said, there's divisions amongst the Wildcat fans on the whole Calipari thing.
Right.
But the contract is pretty hefty. So the first 2 years, which we're already done past that, he gets $7.6 million a year.
A year?
A year. That's on the 1st of July.
That's that Trump money.
So from 2021 to 24, he gets $8.1 million. And then from 25 to 29, he gets 8.6.
So does it keep going up? Because don't he have like a lifetime contract?
Well, that's the 2029. That's the end of it. Yeah.
So a lifetime does not mean his lifetime.
No.
It ends in 2029.
Yeah. So it's just the largest of a coach.
Oh, gotcha.
Now we're not talking about like Coach K lifetime, because he was a lifetime coach. Like, he literally was like in there. But
my thing is with that is like, but is he really coaching or is he recruiting?
That's the thing, though. That's where...
Are they paying him to recruit the top players?
But see, that's where the divisions come in. Because, some of them, and I'm kind of one of them, that I think it's time to part ways. Which, if they do part ways out of a non-cause agreement, he gets 75% of his salary, which will be about $33 million.
Well, see, I wouldn't say like particularly part ways, but kind of like bring in another coach to like side by side with him. Not necessarily paying that coach the exact same amount, but like have him still be there as far as the recruiting in and doing the stuff that he's doing, but bring in another coach to have another voice on that court. Bring in a coach that actually knows what it is to be in the paint and how to direct the ballers as far as what to do.
Yeah, and that's where I would be like, well, they can bring Kenny Payne back to be an assistant coach, because he wasn't a good assistant coach. He did do a lot with the team development.
Yeah, because I feel like the Calipari stands up there and he yells at them, but then he just kind of like stares blankly into the forest like he don't know what the hell's going on.
But my problem is the way. So my problem with Calipari, and I think it's time to part ways with him and get another coach, is because there's got to be a thing to where you get a coach that has the right mentality on what to do with adjustments. Calipari doesn't do that. I mean, while Reed Sheppard was struggling, he kept him in. And I understand sometimes you don't want to bring out a player that's struggling, because it can kind of hurt his confidence. But he's been known to hurt confidence in players before. Certain game time decisions just really isn't there. Like I said, he doesn't really know how to bring the team together.
My biggest thought is that Kentucky, the University of Kentucky, the sports sector of who hires coaches in, I think they're probably kind of scared about like replacing Calipari because he is bringing the top ranked players in, so it's bringing more of a eye to Kentucky, and if they get rid of him, then they're scared that they won't get that type of elite player status in to go pro.
Well, we're bringing too many. That's my thing. If you could bring 2 or 3, that's fine.
But Calipari wants all of them.
But he wants all. But he wants all of them. So what that does is create more of the one and dones, to where we're learning new names every year.
Yep.
We don't have a culture,
Yep.
and without a culture, it's hard to be concise of winning.
We had a culture. Like, I remember when Kentucky had a culture.
We had a big culture.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. We was the elite, the top tier of college basketball.
Yeah.
Now we're a laughing stock.
Because nobody stays. And then the people that when we get them in, they don't live up to the name that they made before they got here.
And that's the thing, though. When they get to the NBA, they don't, like, there's only a handful of people in the NBA, because I follow the cats up there in the league.
Oh yeah,
like
Anthony Davis, John Wall. There's a certain DeMarcus Cousins. There's a couple of them that have actually done something for themselves, but like the rest of them, they're just like.
Well, it's like DeMarcus Cousins. He's playing overseas now. He's trying to get back into the league.
Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I don't even think John Wall's in there anymore.
No, he's not.
Because see, now he's got the podcast that I was telling you about in the first episode.
And then, like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's been really good. Like, he's actually improved his game to where he's actually almost in regular season MVP right now. So there are some cats that are doing big, but it just right now like you got to get away from that. Like you have to have cohesive winning.
Yeah, my thing is with the UK, I feel like I wish that they would just not even think about going pro. When you get into UK basketball, don't think, okay, this is going to get me pro. Think of, okay, let's make our team the best team in the nation. And once you've done that, then say, okay, now I can think about going pro. Because now, look at what I've completed while I was at UK. Now, I'm going to have a bigger, like, oh, God, we need him because look what he's done.
And see, it's a different mindset. Because, like, even when I was younger and I was playing ball, like, a lot of kids, they wanted to go to the league. Me, personally, my dream was to play for Kentucky.
Yeah.
So
that's when they had a culture.
That's when they had the culture.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though. That's what we need to get back to.
Nowadays, people are saying, "Ooh, I want to play for Kentucky because Calipari's helping this person go pro."
Exactly.
I want to get in there and go pro too. Like that's the mindset. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like they should come in there with that mindset because you come in there with that mindset. What happens if you don't go pro? Then you're gonna stay with the team and play like shit.
It's about the players that he's going for.
Yeah.
The players that he's strictly going for are the players that are just want to go to the league.
And if they don't make it to the league, then they transfer out of UK to another school that's going to help them get to the league.
So instead of finding these players that are just wanting to go to the league, he needs to find the people that are truly passionate about Kentucky basketball.
Or just passionate about the sport in general.
Well,
not the image that the sport brings.
I mean, yeah, there is a lot of people that...
But there's so many people, there's so many schools in Kentucky that have really good basketball players that's like, I want to be a part of UK.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. But see, I mean, you can get a player that's passionate about the sport, but then they're just like, well, this ain't a winning team, so
yeah,
what person wants to stay with a team that gets knocked out in the first round? That's where I'm saying, like, you have to stick with the people that are passionate about Kentucky basketball.
So do you think we're about to lose a bunch of people?
I do. Like I said, the two people that I really want to keep is Dillingham and Reed. But I really think Dillingham is probably going to try to make that jump. I don't think it'd be a good move. Reed, like I said, I hope he stays. I really hope he has the mindset of, I want to be a Wildcat. As that mindset I kept saying, but nowadays it's really hard. It's really hard to judge nowadays.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to leave it right there. Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think about this whole UK basketball situation going on with the NCAA losing in the first round, Calipari's contract, the players that may or may not be walking from UK after this upset. Let us know in the comments. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive deep into some politics to end it out. So stay tuned. All right, y'all. So over in politics, we got a couple of things. First, we'll start out with the Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell, who will be stepping down as the Senate Republican leader in November. He's the longest serving senator in history, almost 2 decades. And in a statement on the Senate floor, he says, "One of life's most unappreciated talents is to know when it's time to move on to life's next chapter. So I stand before you today to say that this will be my last term as Republican leader of the Senate." So in response to that, Joe Biden made a statement saying that I've trusted him and we have a great relationship. He states, "We fight like hell, but he has never misrepresented anything." I'm more leaning towards about time he stepped down, or about time he retired from it. Like, you could tell that in the last 5 years he was about to be out. Like, I wish that he would have just took time before that to just go ahead and back out. That way he could be with his family and have a good time, because now, like, his health is deteriorating, so he's not able to do those things. When 5 years ago he was been willing and able to do all those things. I wish he wouldn't have stuck in for so long.
Yeah, and I don't know, as far as like the Kentucky side of it, I honestly don't know what he has done besides hold us back.
I agree. And I also, in my mind, I'm like, we need something new and fresh.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like the whole, so growing up, I grew up in Maysville, Kentucky. And in Maysville was the leading as far as like trading, growing.
Tobacco farming and the industry for tobacco in Kentucky.
And so, don't get me wrong, not an advocate on tobacco. I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't know more. I've had family members die of it, but it.
Proud of you.
So, but brings me to my issue. Kentucky has made a name off having a cash crop. Mm-hmm. My grandfather, he was a farmer, and he dabbled into everything. I mean, there's certain type of farmers. You got your livestock farmers. You got your agriculture farmers, but my grandfather, he dabbled in everything. He had livestock, he tobacco, all that, and I literally seen the decline of the tobacco, and how it hurt little towns like Maysville. And like now you go there, and I mean it still can be a beautiful town. It's not as lively as it used to be. So, and my problem with Mitch was he kept saying, well, Kentucky would be the last state to legalize marijuana.
Yeah. And
that could be Kentucky's cash crop.
Facts. For those people that were in tobacco, marijuana could have been their next venture to keep them afloat. Yes,
and like I said, growing up in that town, like I seen the decline of it, because all of a sudden, and it may have been a coincidence. It could have been just me looking at it the other way, but it seemed like in one span, like all these tobacco warehouses started going up in flames.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, it is a dangerous thing to do because the tobacco leaves get really dry. But when you start seeing as many go up as I did, it kind of makes you wonder.
Like, who's got the best interest for us when all this stuff is going wrong?
Yeah. So, and then they want to keep pushing coal and all that. And there's a lot of towns, they make their money off of coal. But, you get a lot of people that have health problems because of coal.
And then you're not helping those people.
Yeah.
Right.
Until election time comes.
Yeah, and then you want to throw out as much as you can to get those people to vote for you. And as soon as they vote for you, a year or two later, nothing to show for it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, where are you now when we need you the most? Like, you were there for us when you needed us, but now that we need you, you're nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I say this election is so important. As far as, like, this is his last term, so we're gonna have to get somebody else in that seat.
And right now, he has his junior Republican, Rand Paul.
Yeah.
And that right there, it's like, what are we going to do with him for the next...
We need somebody that's, like, going to bring new age refreshness to that Senate seat. And not somebody that's going to keep us... Because how I see it is, Kentucky's still in the 1960s. And... California's into 2024 and we're still in the 1960s. Like, we need somebody that's going to bring us into the new age and not somebody that's going to keep us suppressed back in the late 90s. Like, I mean the early 90s. Like, we really need to really think about the progression of our state and where it is now and where we need it to be for our people.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you can still have people living under poverty line because rent's going up, but the pay's not going up.
Facts.
Like,
I quit my job because, first of all, the craziness that was going on there. But second of all, because they wasn't paying me what I was worth. They wasn't paying me what I was working. They wasn't giving me enough for the stuff that I was putting up with and the hours that I was working. When I can work for myself doing DoorDash and make good money. The only difference with that is you got to put money back to pay the taxes, which taxes are up too. So, like, it's like you're just working to pay the man.
Yeah.
When I say the man, I don't mean anything in particular, but to pay the government. Like, you're working your whole life to pay the government to never see a penny of it. Unless you are a celebrity, unless you're a politician, unless you've got this Fortune 500 company, you're never going to really be able to breathe.
Well, I mean, what is it? It's like, what? There's 500 billionaires in this country.
Yeah, there should be so many more
that don't pay taxes.
Yeah, but I'm not saying there should be so many more that don't pay taxes. Like, everyone should be wealthy in this country. As much money is going out of this country.
There's room.
There's
room for everybody to eat.
Yeah, but we see all this money being funneled out of the country into other countries. Which I'm not saying that, no, we don't need to help them, but at the same time, how are we helping them when we aren't helping ourselves? So I'm going to switch it up on y'all and stay in the politic realm. Mitch McConnell, thank you for your service, all the years that you did put in, and we wish you a great retirement. Hope that you get to spend as much time as possible with your family and your friends and live your life out to the fullest. But we are ready for something new. We need something refreshing and uplifting in that seat. But in other news, we're going to move over into Trump news. So everyone should know by now that Trump has been ordered to pay about $500 million in silver fraud case charges and bonds, which his lawyers are saying is practically impossible. But as of now, Joe Biden is killing it in the election fundraiser. And I feel like that's because Trump isn't able to really get out there and campaign and raise money for his campaign and for his fundraising because of all the stuff that he's having to pay in the legal aspect of it. However, there are some proposed deals to make his life a little easier financially when it comes to paying the bond to the court and keep on pushing with his campaign. The deal is with his social media platform, Truth Social, and its parent company going public, and it would possibly be his lifeline for him to get back in it, because it could raise his net worth to be double what it is now, and it could raise his net to more than $3 billion. So if he was to go public with Truth Social as far as stocks and bonds and stuff like that, he would possibly be able to pay his legal troubles and still be able to save money and raise for the campaign. Because you know that he actually posted, his team, I quote unquote, his team posted to social media talking about how they needed his followers and his supporters to donate to his bond, as far as his bond being paid. They were reaching out to the public to help them by donating money to pay the bond because he didn't want to lose his assets.
But
and he has until Monday.
But is that going? Are they consider that like his donation to that or his donation to his campaign? Because that's
you teetering on the line because and then somebody else said
that is a big teeter.
Are
right
they
there.
still pulling out of the same bucket as his campaign? Because essentially the people that would be contributing to the bond are the same people that are contributing to this campaign. So how would we know?
Well, it's like our previous governor. He was taking funds and taxes out of the state to pay for vacations.
Yeah.
And then came back and said, well, as long as I pay it back, who cares? Well,
and then that other guy, I can't even think of his name, but if I think of it, I will comment it on this YouTube channel in the comments, who was paying for OnlyFans through his campaign donations.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting kicked out of the Senate and everything. So yeah, that's a major question for everybody as far as so when they pay the bonds, is it coming out of his same bucket as the fundraising for the campaign, or are they gonna make this a separate bucket? But the thing is, it's his team that's asking for it, the same team that's running his fundraiser for his campaign. So regardless of where the money is going, it's all coming out of the same bucket. There's no different bucket in my mind. If they're asking for money, okay, we're gonna put all this money in here, we're gonna use this money for this, and then we'll have all the rest of this for your campaign.
You still have to designate money for different things and let that be known, so that way you don't get caught up on charges or dip it into. It's kind of like owning a business.
Yeah.
You can't take money from the business to pay personal stuff.
Right.
So there's a very fine line to teeter on that.
And we gonna figure out later on when the receipts are gonna come out, where is everything gonna be. But this proposal, as far as selling his, not selling, but opening up publicly his Truth social media platform, isn't set in stone. It's still a work in progress, and Trump still has several hoops to jump through as far as getting that off the ground and financially helping himself as far as with his legal situations, and still being able to fundraise to raise money for his campaign, which, I mean, it's March, almost April, you should be out there hitting the paint, but it's hard for him when he's still stuck in court cases. And this is just the first, the middle set of court cases. He's still got a whole criminal case to go through.
I thought I've seen him out there campaigning.
He has.
That's the thing, though. You're still out there campaigning, but you saying that you don't have the money to go out there campaign. Yeah, I don't get the logic there.
And for somebody who is this billionaire mogul, you don't have $465 million. I know that's hard for me to come up with. That's hard for you to come up with. I ain't never gonna see that in my lifetime. But somebody who has all of this, as a former president, you make that in a year. Damn near.
Yeah, I don't.
On top of the different business ventures and everything that you touch, that you are engaged in, and that's not just in the United States, that's overseas too. What happened to those offshore accounts?
But see, that's the thing though. He's not taking his own money to pay for it. He wants other people to pay for it.
Yeah, and that's not how it works.
Is that somebody we really want running the country?
But he has until Monday, which is the day that this is actually airing, so it might be the day you're listening to it. He has until Monday to come up with the $465 million bond to pay, or they can start seizing his assets to cover it.
Yeah, and this is going to be a topic for another.
Oh yeah, we'll keep you posted on it Thursday too.
Well, but the thing is also too, it's just the Republican thing right now. They, there's so many fractions within the Republicans right now that they're so divided. is this really the party that we want running the country that's so divided that they don't even know what to do within their own party?
As far as the Republicans?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's a lot of people that are saying, like, the Republicans are the more sound party. And I find that so hard to believe at this time. But I think, like, they're scrambling because they don't know how to keep it together.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know, like, first of all, and this is my own opinion, y'all are backing the wrong candidate. Y'all needed to at least have 2 or 3 candidates that y'all strongly felt like could run this country and could beat out Joe Biden. And same with the Democratic Party. Y'all should have a slew of candidates that y'all feel are just as capable of beating out Donald Trump as Joe Biden. And then you have all of those candidates go up on that podium.
Well, normally that would be true, but I mean, it's like whatever party has the president in office is the automatic candidate.
But see, my thing is, they see the controversy with each one of those, and they see how the country's divided with both of those. But even from the beginning, they still solely backed those 2 candidates. Even though you had a slew of candidates coming up to do it, you never once looked at them or gave them the time.
And that's the thing. Like, instead of having 2 candidates per party, 1 candidate per party on the ballot, they should probably put a couple on there, which is it.
Yeah.
That is the reason for the primaries and all that. Yeah. But give us more options.
I just feel like they're both too damn old to be president at this point.
You're right about that.
Y'all way too old. You don't know what these young people, these young adults are out here talking about, or their needs are, or the troubles that they're facing, because you've never faced those troubles. We need a president that's been there, done that.
But that's half of Congress right now, though. The majority of them are, getting up in their ears. Like
those are the people that need to be retiring, like Mitch McConnell.
Then you have some of the younger ones that, like, I forget her name, that kept going around and harassing the shooting victims. Like, it's literally, these people are getting out of control, and I don't understand where it's coming from.
It's coming from the top.
Yeah, you're right.
It's coming from the top. They see that they're out of control, so why not? We just need to replace the whole line, the whole list. Everybody needs to go, and new people need to come in. That's just how it is.
We need sane people in. That's the thing. It just, I don't. Everybody's losing their mind, and we just need to. We all need to realize we're all on this planet together.
Facts.
And this planet is not gonna survive if we don't get a grips on it and come together. I
couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm gonna leave it there. And this is gonna end out this episode of the Mike Podcast. That's Mix and Chat. I'm your boy Javi.
And I'm D-Lo.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.